that you get buyers and sellers in front of you, right? Okay. Do you feel you're doing that yet? Are you doing that yet? Are you doing that yet? Okay, that's fine. It's got to start somewhere. Okay, before we go there, though, Robin, do we have any points to talk about? How are the teams shaping?
From Joan Clark. I'm surprised it's not here, but yeah, I only got points from Joan Clark.
So her team is winning then.
So it looks like, I haven't done totals for it. And her team, well, let's see.
And I haven't given you my points yet either.
Yeah, team 3 is winning.
Who's who's team leader?
Kelly Graylander and Joan Clark.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got to get some points turned in. I think you're doing your points, so aren't you now, hon? You're doing your points now, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Any field problems? Anybody of all the 4 of us here? Any field problems?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you were here last week.
Yeah.
And you were trying to decide if this was something you wanted to do. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
So what did you learn the last week?
Well, we've only gone and saw 2 houses, and one was just horrible. Guys,
Is this you and a buyer?
a seller.
You and a seller are looking at other houses?
Me and Dean.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Dean is your team leader. Where's Dean?
He has an appointment with the attorney.
Good.
So
Okay.
I'm here taking notes.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we got some good information for you guys. You can now, we'll turn this back over now. There's no cheating involved now. So anyway, so you and Dean are looking at houses to maybe list, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And
And the problem was it was a wreck, right?
yeah, and the guy, it'd be best just for him to move out, clean it up, and sell it, but he's wanting to sell it before he finds a new house, and it's going to be hard for somebody to buy it.
We've had a lot of houses like that, and they do sell.
Yeah.
Somehow they sell. There's always miracles in this business. So where did that seller client come from?
I'm not sure. He had it before I came in. So.
Okay. Okay. So that might be a field problem. Any field successes? Anybody? At least you have a potential seller. Any successes? Okay. All right. All right. Okay, then we'll launch into things to do to find business, also known as frequently overlooked marketing opportunities. And if you guys want to take that, and here's the thing. Oh, wait, Robin, you actually had part of this too that was, Robin had found something that was useful for us.
Well, it was
7 ways to be better at prospecting. Yeah, let's go over that really quick. Looks like that's good information. Then we'll launch into mine. Okay, 7 ways to be better at prospecting. Do you all have that?
Yeah.
And this will be good for you guys. I'm going to have a seat right here. This will be good for you guys, especially since you are so brand new. Are you still liking the business? What did you do before?
I was just in retail. Well, I did some property management with my parents.
Okay, Elise. Some property management for who?
For my parents.
Oh, you did? Okay. You joining us, Elise?
I can for a little while.
Well, that'd be nice.
I just noticed you didn't have that many people.
No, have a seat. Just take a couple chairs. It'll help. Okay, so what did you do before, sweetie?
I just graduated, did 1 year at college, and then didn't know what I wanted to do. So.
Okay. That's a great way to get into this business, is just starting almost like Robin said to me the other day, like a clean palette. Nothing wrong with that. And say Elise has some things. Okay, let's go over these that Robin found for us, called 7 ways to be better at prospecting. And then I've got 31 things you can do to prospect. It's amazing. We'll really put your mind to it. Okay, so, and part of what I have to say is consistency counts. Prospect daily. We have one fairly new licensee with Jack White who probably in 1 week calls 200 people minimum. 200 cold calls. Guess where he calls from? And it's not exclusive to him. You could do the same. Do you know where he called? Do you know where he called? What his call base is?
Phone book.
What?
Phone book.
The phone book. Absolutely. He started at A. I think he's at D right now. So you could start with Z and work backwards, and you would not interfere with him whatsoever. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he is doing extremely well. He's putting, I think isn't he falling into our top producer category?
He is. He's getting so many listings off of just cold calling. It's
He literally
almost
cold calls and, you know,
just has a conversation with them and basically says, if you know anyone buying or selling, please consider me. And
he's got one huge high-end listing up in the hillside just from making a cold call. So is anybody in here afraid to make cold calls? Oh, I knew that would be me. Yeah, some people are paralyzed at the notion. Lee, who used to be on my team, I think it almost made her physically sick at the notion of needing to cold call. But it's actually a lot of fun. Cold calling is fun because it's like a game of chess. Has anybody played chess? Checkers or chess? It's like a game of chess. First of all, the good news is over the phone they really can't hurt you. They can't hit you. They can't make you bleed. They might hurt your feelings, but who cares? I mean, they don't know me. There's nothing they could say except, what could they possibly say? I wish you would stop calling me Click. A great story I can tell you about persistence in prospecting in Texas, where I used to sell real estate. It was not uncommon in that climate where we would actually go door to door and door knock and leave flyers and door knock and leave flyers. So we would essentially own the neighborhood. And I also launched into farming neighborhoods with mail outs. And there's no reason you can't do that now. Or you pick a neighborhood, maybe a small neighborhood, and you basically start sending them mail, you know, useful information about real estate. And so for probably 2 years solid, every single month, I farmed a particular neighborhood. And one day, a total stranger walked in the front office and demanded to speak to Kathy Fernandez. And the person was upset. So I thought, oh my gosh. So I went into the lobby and I said, hi, I'm Kathy Fernandez. I've always, you know, try to get the upper hand. Hi, I'm Kathy Fernandez. You know, thanks for coming in to visit with me. Is there something I can help you with? Yes, he said. I'm here to tell you that I am sick to death of getting all your mail. I need you to stop sending mail to me. But the rest of the story is I need a realtor. And you're the only one I can think of. That is a true story. So we listed his property and we lived happily ever after. You know? So, he's not going to hurt me, but it's consistency that matters. So consistency counts, prospect daily. So let's see what else we have here. Salespeople acquire new clients, and to do so, they necessarily open relationships. I like that word, the open relationships. That's what John does. He opens relationships. Prospecting is the art of opening new relationships. That's beautiful, Robin. The new business opportunities that later turn into sales are initially identified through prospecting, making prospecting the lifeblood of sales. So for those of us, you, who are afraid to make cold calls and prospect, you need to kind of get over that like yesterday, don't you think? And it's fun. Actually, it's a lot of fun. One day we'll just do some prospecting in here. The first way to improve your prospecting results is to acknowledge its importance to your sales results and treat it accordingly. John, who has lots of business on the books now. Hey, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
John, who has lots of business on the books now. Willie, come join us. He still makes those cold calls. He still makes these cold calls every week, in spite of the fact that he probably has more business than he can even handle. Welcome, Willie.
Thank you.
Okay, so is it possible that all of you could carve out even 1 hour, 30 minutes, or 1 hour in every day to prospect? Possible? So you're going to make an appointment with yourself to prospect, right? Okay, and I'm seeing lots of this, so we're probably going to see how that went next week.
I think maybe a better way to put it is to actively prospect, because I always think of, I'm always prospecting somehow, like we talk about with my
Yes.
Facebook photo and, things like that.
Right.
But to actually sit down and get on the phone.
That would be painful for you, wouldn't it? But that's kind of what I'm talking about here. I mean, and Robin is actually a very good prospector. We're going to go into some of the things she does in social media to prospect on a constant basis. But with that said, it's picking up that phone and literally making calls that will make a huge difference in your life. So, and Willie, you can jump in now. So if you were to carve out an hour a day where you basically prospected, let's go around the room. Let's just say, assume you did it. What would you do? Who would you call? What would you do?
Who would I call? Anybody who has, even in passing mentioned to me, oh, well, you're a realtor? You know, I might, you know, I do have people saying that. I heard you're a realtor. I heard you have.
And so what you would do then is put them on a list of people to call with the next day when you do that 1 hour calling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it might not be them, but it might be someone they know.
Okay.
So,
All right. So there you go. So she would call people who's ever mentioned to her that they know she's a realtor. And you've been a realtor how long, Robin?
3 years.
3 years as a realtor, been on our team as a buyer rep. She's our team administrator at the moment and a buyer rep. Does it all now, but she'll be leaving to go back to school where she has benefits. So there's the benefit of working with me cannot be outweighed by medical benefits. Okay, so if you were to carve out an hour a day, what would you do?
I would probably start with like family and friends.
Perfect.
And then go to like the phone book probably.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Is it possible that you write this down? Is it possible that we could ask you how that went next week?
Yeah.
Good. I'm loving it.
That kind of pushes you to have to do it. Which is
We'll ask. We'll ask.
You know, honestly, we all have to be pushed. I've been in sales my whole life and picking up the phone and prospecting. I know most of these realtors in the state, and I'm the recruiter here. So my prospecting is to other realtors, which they hate hearing from me sometimes. It's like, Elise, enough already. But it's very odd that sometimes it's in the timing. So you can call someone and they're aggravated, and then all of a sudden you call them and go, we need to meet right now. It's just, so don't give up. I
So
think
at
it's
least
my
when they're
biggest-
aggravated, what do you say?
That I'm sorry that I if they felt I wasted their time, but I just wanted them to know that they're wanted and
That
needed.
you're thinking about them.
And if they know of anyone that would,
And did you
Interested.
hear what she just said? The point is, they may not be interested in coming on board, but do they know anyone who is? And when you're talking to these total strangers in the phone book, you're not calling them and you're not going to say, do you want to sell your house today or buy a house today? The question is, introduce yourself, always introduce yourself, always let them know you're a realtor. Don't try to be sneaky because you'll lose all kinds of points with them. Hi, I'm Kathy Fernandez. I'm with Jack White Real Estate, and I randomly picked your name out of the phone book. Just want to see if you have a minute to visit with me for a second. If the answer is no, very well, may I call you back later? If the answer is yes, say, well, you know, we were just checking. The market is really excellent right now. Interest rates are still really low. And we're just wondering if you know of anybody that might be interested in buying or selling real estate in the very near future. And then shut up. Let them talk. So could you do that? That's pretty
you
harmless.
know, and to me, being blunt is the most important. When I call and I'm recruiting, I go, I'm the recruiter at Jack White, and I'm calling because I want you. And they all of a sudden their head just swells up and they're excited because they're wanted. And then they're willing to give you information if they're happy or whatever.
So
But
let's role
I
play
think
with
you're
Elise
right.
for a
The
minute.
The
Yeah.
respect of being blunt about who you are.
Just
not
get to the
wasting my
point.
time.
Yeah, get to the point and be
That's
professional. So Elise, let's say that I've been in the business less than a year. And how would you have found me if I'd been, say I'm over at Keller Williams, I've been in the business less than a year. How would you have found me?
I just pull the MLS and I
I was
literally
just, she pulls the real estate phone book.
the real estate phone book, and I literally go from the top of a company. Now I try to change it up because I don't want everyone at lunch saying, "Did Elise call you today?" so I'll call 2 to 3 people at Keller, and then I'll call 2 to 3 one person at Dwell for the smaller ones, one person at Century 21.
Star Marset left well and went over to Keller Williams. Why?
She came to see me about joining here, and but she wanted a free deal. I mean,
No,
she
there's
just
no free
wanted low money, and you know, we don't do special deals for anyone here, and
Mm.
I'm very blunt about that. I think that's actually fair, where some companies will let someone come in for free while the other one's paying double. To me, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's why she didn't come back.
Okay, I noticed that. Okay, so let's say I've been in the business for 1 year and I'm with Keller Williams and you randomly called me. Let's role play and do this call because I have a question.
Okay. So I'm calling you, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. My name's Elise Buchholz. I'm a recruiter for Jack White, and I'm just calling because I want you. I would love to have you here at this company.
At least I'm very flattered by that, but how do you even know me?
I don't. Honestly, you're new here at Keller Williams, and I realize that our training is so amazing, especially for newer people. And then I go into my rookie boot camp spiel.
Perfect.
So,
Okay. And that might,
Yeah.
as a brand new licensee, that might really interest me. And I'm not going to waste anyone's time by launching, but I was curious to know how you would handle "I want you" when you don't even know me. So
right.
I'm pushing back and challenging her a little bit. She has a good answer.
Yeah. And really, there's an answer for everything, and even in real estate sales. I mean, I really think some people try to put you off immediately on the phone call because they think you're just a typical salesperson that's just going to feed them with a bunch of stuff they don't want to hear. So if you're blunt and to the point, and then you let them talk, if you're a good listener, oh my God.
And the other thing about being a good
listening
listener,
skills is the hardest skills to have.
especially for salespeople who think that you sell only by talking, you really sell by listening. But here's the other absolute trick you must never forget to do. The minute you get someone on the phone, start writing. Write their name down so you can call them by their name when you need to. We've lived here about 4 years. We've kind of thought about something. Write it down. 4 years they've lived here. Start taking notes so that you don't miss a beat. Because when you can feed back to people what they tell you, when you can repeat back to them what they tell you, you are suddenly very special and they think you care. I mean,
Yes.
I don't, every phone call I get, I left it in the car this time, but every phone call I get, I'm taking notes. I might have, literally, some days I'll have 50 to 75 notes of phone calls I've made or
I actually
received.
have a very successful story. This was from many years ago, but I was in New Orleans and I was running to be a White House delegate on small business. And it was right when I opened my business in 1993. I had a recruiting firm where I placed people. And I thought being a White House delegate on small business might help me to get to know all the business owners because that's who I would be staffing for. So I go in and everyone had worked on their pamphlets. They looked like real politicians. They were handing them out saying, vote for me. There were 278 candidates. And I walked up to this man that I had met 4 years ago at a chamber function and his grandson was born. Could not remember his name. But I walked up to him and I said, hey, how are you doing? And he was looking at who was important in the room, kind of over my shoulder. And I grabbed his hand and I cupped it and I said, how's your grandson? And he goes, excuse me? I said, 4 years ago, I was at the chamber function. We were at this place. I could remember everything about our conversation, but I could not. And someone walked over to him and said, Joe, how you doing? And I said,
how's your grandson, Joe?
So I said, Joe, I know you look busy and it looks like you want to get, and he says, oh no, someone with your memory is who we want on this delegation. Follow me. He introduced me to every state representative, every congressman. I ended up going to the White House as a White House delegate on small business. So anyway, but that was one of those things where it just.
Because you remembered.
I remembered
And
it.
he felt important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great skill in our business to make people feel important.
And if
just the
you're
way you
on a
treat
phone
them.
conversation and you repeat their name to them like twice, they feel so special.
They do.
I love that point of saying their name.
Yeah. So take notes. Okay, so who will you be calling for?
I think like she said, friends and family, but I would do it more of like a Facebook because then you can get to their friends and their friends. And people calling from the phone book, I feel like a lot of people don't answer numbers that they don't know. So I feel like if you do it from maybe social networks, then they kind of know who you are and they're more likely to respond.
There's nothing wrong with that. I still don't think it's as powerful as the phone call, but I think it's a great start. I do. And Willie, I think by now you are prospecting. What's your prospecting MO?
I'm calling friends and calling also people in my sphere. Just kind of touch bases with them and then trying to write out some notes, just handwritten notes. Also, I need to do this more, as we all know, that it's hard to do. I mean, to really do it all the time as far as prospecting every day, taking that time to prospect.
It's very, especially
It's
if you're so busy.
necessary.
Yeah, it's your lifeblood.
Yeah,
Because, and I've said
After a
this
while, you'll
100
be out of
times, if you get
business.
really busy and you close 5 sales and you've sweated bullets over that, suddenly when they're all closed, you wake up and think,
Yeah.
I don't have anything left in the pipeline. I have no more income coming in.
Sure.
But the truth is, if you are prospecting, you will always have something in the pipeline.
I had a realtor come to me 3 weeks ago. He's been in the business for a long time. He's been considered a top realtor here, and he came in a panic. He completely was dried up, had no listings, nothing in the pike, nothing to work on. And he just really needed a motivational pep talk. We all do. And it was really cool to say, go back to the basics. Do you have your business cards? Have you been handing them out everywhere? Are you calling people? Put out an hour every morning. And so we planned this thing,
Good for you.
and he has 5 listings.
Wow.
That was 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
In 3 weeks, he got 5 listings.
That's amazing. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Great, that's good. Okay, back to this. Turn off distractions. Turn off the internet, turn off your email, turn off your smartphone, and focus on those phone calls. And I like what Willie said. Willie said he makes a phone call and he starts taking notes. So part of the notes is not only do you have their name, but in the note you have to have a task for yourself for the follow-up. What I like to do when I've called somebody is I stop calling and I immediately send them an email. Thank you so much for the conversation. It was nice getting to know you better, whatever. And then I put them in our contact management program, so they're going to get an email, a flyer from us each week. So if I get a good call, I stop calling and I process that call. Because if I don't process that call, it will be lost because I'll never get back to it. And even though that was a good warm contact, if the follow-up doesn't happen for me right away, it'll go away.
That's right.
So once I've done the processing, it's in our email, email blasts, I've sent them an email, and then I tickle it for a follow-up call, maybe 3 or 4 days later. If there's a reason for the call. You mentioned your neighbor might be wanting to sell. Did you have a chance to talk to your neighbor? So those notes will help you know how to follow up later. And I'm sure you're doing that, Willie. So turn off the distractions. You've got to focus to make this time worthwhile.
The worst thing you can do is get a real important text and be reading that text when the person you're prospecting asks you a question and then you're dumbfounded because you're paying attention to this instead of them. And that's happened to me way too many times, and it really messes up a sales call. It just
Well, you lose your momentum. And it goes back to, you'll always hear me say, try to be in control of every situation. You're in control of the situation if you're not distracted. And you have to be quick on your feet. That's what I like about cold calling is it's challenging. Somebody's going to maybe throw you a curveball. Well, how many houses have you sold last week? You got to, or how many years have you been in the business? You've got to have answers for those kind of things. The best answer for that, how many years have you been in the business? Sir, I've actually only been in the business less than a year, but I've been in the game of life 34 years. They love that answer. So have some maybe answers ready for the curveballs. Or why are you bothering me? Sir, I didn't mean to bother you. Could I call you back at another time? Would another time be better? Don't let people intimidate you.
or hurt your feelings. Some people are just downright mean. And, if you don't let it bother you, don't let it, just realize it's just another call.
Some of the
You're
best,
having a bad day. Everyone has them. They could be the nicest person on earth and you just caught them at the wrong time.
some of the best calls, the most lucrative calls I've ever made is the grouchy person. I'm really way too busy. I'm really too busy today, or this is just, I'm really sorry to hear that you're having a bad day. What's making your day so bad? And then they want to talk to you. And it's amazing. I've done a lot of calling of expired and canceled listings. By the way, don't overlook those expires and cancels. We don't get many of them anymore because the realtors are too smart to let them expire or cancel. But the expireds and canceled listings are your best prospecting calls. They are sitting ducks and they're usually pissed off. And I've had the best luck with that because I'll call and sometimes they don't even know their listing has expired or they know it canceled because they were part of that. They may not know it expired. Sir, I'm calling you today because I noticed that the listing of your home on the multiple listing service after 371 days, is an expired listing, and I'm calling to let you know or ask you if you still want to sell your home. What do you mean it's expired? Yeah, I'm working with, I never can get that realtor on the phone. I'm really sorry to hear that. What do you think the reason is your home hasn't sold? I don't know. The realtor will never call me back. Sir, if you still want to sell, would you allow me to come by and visit with you and take a look at your home and provide you with a fresh market analysis and a successful marketing plan? How can they say no? If they're serious sellers, how can they say no? And so the worst fear you have at that moment is they're going to say, sure, come on by.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, what do I do now? Do I get sick to my stomach? What do I do now? Think you could do that? Expires and cancel listings, great opportunities. Okay, use every method available. And we are going to talk about methods for prospecting. Yeah, write scripts. Kind of, role play with other people so you know what can go wrong. Focus on the outcome. The outcome of prospecting is to open the relationship. This must always involve obtaining the commitment for an appointment. Yeah, always try to close for an appointment. Did I not close with you just a few minutes ago for an appointment for next week?
Unfortunately.
I did.
Or even if it's not for an appointment, it could be a follow-up.
Exactly.
I'm going to touch base with you in a couple of weeks to see if your needs have changed. Anything to say, I'm following up.
And you've left the door open. And I love this word relationship. You've opened the relationship. Isn't
Yeah,
that the
even
word?
in a handwritten note where you thank them for their time on the phone, say, I look forward to hearing from you again, and I'll follow up with you at such and such a time. And then if you follow up when you say you did.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my, that's when they know that you're a capable realtor, because you followed up when you said you did.
And that puts you head and shoulders above everybody else.
But you better write it down.
Uh-huh.
For me.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
gonna
Write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all these, the younger people with the technology, I don't mean to be discriminatory, but you guys are so much better than 50 plus people that, I just have the hardest time with, I still to this day put things in my calendar in my phone and I cannot get it to ding me. And so I'm going and I missed my appointment, it's not that I missed the appointment, but the phone call, the follow-up, because it didn't notify me right.
I just did that today. I had two appointments. One was a haircut tomorrow, and one was to get some pictures taken at my new listing. And the deal is, instead of just putting it in my phone, I just got this out today, a while ago, to start also writing it down.
I actually have,
I have
a
to-
double calendar.
To visualize.
Yeah, it's in my
and stuff like
iPad,
that,
my
you know.
phone, and hard copy.
Mhm.
And it's interesting, the truth is, when I'm really planning, I go to the hard copy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just easier to see it for some reason, it's laid out. Now, Robin would not do that, because Robin is not a people person. It's gonna all be in her phone. Okay, number 6, let's look at number 6, because this is your lifeblood. Get good at cold calling. There is too much to write here about how to get good at cold calling, but it is important that you have it in your repertoire and that you build your competency picking up the phone and scheduling an appointment. Cold calling is still one of the fastest ways to schedule appointments, better than Facebook. And I'm not putting that down, but that one-on-one gives you the ability to close and to open relationships. And the very best salespeople are the very best at cold calling. They are also the very best at all other forms of prospecting, and the only salespeople I have found that are willing to consistently ask for referrals, something else salespeople avoid. Start cold calling. Okay, this is such great stuff, Robin. So let's jump now to my 31 things to do to prospect. And if you'll remember, our theme here, our theme was spilt milk, frequently overlooked prospecting opportunities. I remember my mom saying, don't miss opportunities, don't spill the milk. And so all my life I've had this horror of spilling milk and missing opportunities. That fear of loss is a strong motivator. Okay, number 1, do you always have your business cards easily accessible when out in public or at your front door in case of a solicitor stops by? I have business cards in my kitchen, and if I have a contractor walk in my kitchen for who knows what reason, or the lawn guy, my business cards are in a little business card holder right there by my phone in the kitchen. And I try to have, I've got my business cards in my purse. If I have a pocket, my business card, I want to be able to just reach in my pocket and hand somebody a card. I don't want to fumble around in my purse if I can avoid that. So have your business cards and a name tag at all times. I often say you will starve in this business if you are a secret agent. Do not be a secret agent. Do you always wear your name tag when out in public? How many people have a name tag on? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. You'll have. Do you have a name tag? You'll get one. Yeah, always have your name
so
tag.
official. But honestly, I'm not a realtor, guys, and I'll be in the grocery line and someone will walk up to me and go, "Oh, you're in real estate. I have a question for you about something." And I go, "Well, I'm not really a realtor." Great. Great.
But I know
But
many
I
good
know
ones.
many. No, it's just a quick question.
Number 3, do you attend your HOA association meetings with business cards and name tag on board? Fabulous way to recruit business. Go to your HOA meetings. If you live in a condo, don't miss those meetings. Don't miss the meeting because you don't want to go to another meeting. Go to the meeting because you're prospecting. Wear the name tag, have your business cards there, become the expert for your association. You'll have immense business coming from that. Number 4, do you stop at garage sales with business cards and name tag on board? Just driving for your neighborhood, stop at a garage sale. Many people's garage sales are ready to sell.
Mhm.
And there'll be a lot of people else coming by that might be coming to the garage
I
sale.
was at a garage sale in Wasilla, and this lady said she had used 3 realtors that she was very unhappy with. And I told her I was with Jack White, and she says, "Well, I want to use you. I like you." I said, "But I'm not a realtor." "But let me get you." And she let me refer someone at our
Wow.
office in Wasilla. So that was cool.
Because you had a name tag on. And you
It
stopped
was-
at the garage sale.
It was an amazing. I mean, it was like a $600,000 home
Oh,
in
wow.
Wasilla.
Oh,
That's, you know,
wow. That's a
yeah.
mansion.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Number 5, when you attend church, do you have your business cards and name tag on board? Explain the name tag as part of your business attire, as you will be hosting an open house right after church. God will forgive you for that. I mean, wearing your name tag to church is a little aggressive, but if it's part of your business attire and you really are going to be doing I would do that. Number 6, is your car always uncluttered, clean, and presentable? Yes, 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 really important. I'm sure Willie's is.
Not today.
7, do you sport car signs or a license plate that announces you're a realtor? These are such easy to do marketing opportunities.
I like Ava Lopkins. Have you ever seen hers on her car? It's not on the sides, it's on the back, so when you're stopped at a light, someone can see it.
Oh, and
you
read
know,
it. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it was probably.
Isn't it
custom
Ava's
stuff.
Apples one?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
She has she's branded herself. Number 8, are you always presentable, shoes polished, and ready for business, even when at a barbecue or picnic? And I'm not saying you shouldn't wear flip-flops at a picnic, of course, but even you can go to these, don't go looking like a bum. People
And be
want,
prepared. Have listing presentations and stuff in your car.
absolutely.
That's important because, guys, I can't tell you how many times I stop and I have someone comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to join your company." You better believe I have contracts in my car to sign them up right away. That's important.
Right. People want to trust their business to people who look professional and reliable. And also to parlay on what Lisa's saying, always in your car, have listing agreements and sales agreements. Have paperwork in your car in folders. Yeah, in your AREC. Number 9, are you always ready for a professional conversation about real estate when a stranger sees your name tag and starts asking questions? Actually, Robin has again influenced this whole conversation today. She said she was in the grocery store.
I was at Kohl's and I was returning something, and I had just come from showing a whole bunch of houses. And I always wear my name tag when I'm out in the field. And I was in a hurry, and a lady said, "Do you work here?" And I said, "No, I gotta go return something," or I forget what they said. Oh, he had that name tag on, and that was that little hiccup moment that could have turned into something.
No, I'm not. I don't work, but I do sell real estate. Do you know of anyone that might be interested in selling or buying real estate? She could have done that.
Mhm.
And she told me that story. I said, this is a great thing to talk about. So, moving along here. What's the best way to have a conversation about real estate with anyone? And Elise doesn't get to answer this one. So number 9, are you always ready for a professional conversation about real estate when a stranger sees your name tag? What's the best way to have a conversation about real estate with anyone, for those of you afraid to cold call? What's the best way to have a conversation? Yes, ma'am. ask questions. Just ask questions. Yeah. And you know, if you're asking questions, you're in charge and it's not scary because you're handling the situation. What would be a good question you would ask, Willie?
You know, what the.
So you're in her scenario,
Mhm.
you're returning something, they think you work at the store and you don't, but you have your name tag on. So if somebody said, do you work here? No, I don't. You launch and I'm a realtor. What would you ask that person?
I'm
That
a
total
realtor.
stranger.
I happen to be a realtor. Do you happen to know anyone who has any real estate needs?
I always smile and make a joke of it. If you're interested in someone with high integrity and honesty in real estate, you might want to consider me. I give them my card.
Whoa. I love that. I
That's a
love
good one.
Yeah, that's pretty, it's
You
Well,
just
so
don't
many people, I have to tell you, as much as I love the real estate industry, the people, what the people think about realtors is almost like a life insurance salesman. So I think good eye contact, a firm handshake.
you know, that's just what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And letting them know you have integrity is important
Mhm.
because they're so scared you're a shyster and you just care
And the
about the
other thing,
commission.
if I'm in the grocery store, I still have my notebook with me. So if that,
You
if I do,
Wow.
and so if somebody's, I take it in with my purse and my grocery list. So if I am stopped and somebody says, you know, I see you're a realtor, I say, well, yes, I am. Were you needing a realtor? Well, we've been thinking about, let me get your name. And I'm taking notes right away.
Yeah.
So always be
I
ready.
do that with my notes on my cell phone. If I need to, if I meet someone, I'll go, here, let me get to my notes and I'm going to put a few notes in here. Here, let me hand you my phone because I'm terrible at texting and I have them type in their own name and phone number.
Oh, that's good.
That way though,
My
Kathy, is almost better than giving them a card. Because once you give them a card, it's like, what's gonna happen to the card? Are they
Yeah,
Well,
gonna
they
wait?
I've got something about the card that I thought of this. It'll be the last thing on our list. That's cool. But if you were in Robin's scenario, what could you say to that? What could you ask them?
Ask them if ask them if they might
Okay.
be looking for one or
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we're asking. Yeah, it's painless. So I'm gonna say, well, as a matter of fact, I was looking for a realtor. Do you know anybody that, I see you're a realtor. I mean, so, you look pretty young. Have you been in the business very long?
not long.
But I work for someone who's been in the business for over 30 years.
Mhm.
And if I don't capture you as a buyer client, he will kill me and fire me, right?
Who do you work for?
Who do you work for? My uncle's Dean Nelson.
Oh, okay. Oh, you came in under Dean. Okay, that's right. I remember he brought you in to introduce you to me.
To be successful in this, we have to think outside the box. What would you ask?
I would ask if they knew anyone who was interested in selling or buying real estate, and then hand them their business card.
Okay, that's prospecting. Nothing wrong with that. Alrighty, number 10, do you review MLS stats every day so that you can speak intelligently about real estate to anyone at any time? Robin is excellent at this. Robin, you can give her an address and she can almost describe the house and how long it's been on the market and the condition.
And when it was
They-
on the
You
market
know
last
realtors, and I
time.
don't know, I'm speaking out of turn because I'm not a realtor, but some realtors come in, the first thing they do in the morning is look at the hot sheet on
Absolutely.
the MLS. Is that what you suggest?
That's my point. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be looking at it. It'll take 20 minutes to 45 minutes. It's a time-consuming project. You can do it at 6 in the morning, which you should probably be doing anyway, at 6 in the morning rather than sleeping. You should be working. But if you're looking at those stats early in the morning, it'll give you so much confidence about the market in this profession. And Robin's,
We had a call, actually, our latest listing, they called us and they were unhappy with the realtor that they were using and they said, I said, well, what's the address? And as soon as she said it, I knew the house
And this is a seller that called us. Actually,
Yeah.
that was an E-team lead.
yeah,
Oh,
I forgot to tell you that.
yeah.
E-team lead.
And I said, oh, well, you just bought that a few years ago, right?
Oh, isn't that a scary stuff?
Because I knew when it was on the market before and how
Yeah,
long it was on
yeah,
the market.
right.
And I knew that improvements had been made to it.
I mean, she's like a, like,
Yeah.
there's a word for that.
MLS geek is what she called me.
But the point is, if you just look at those stats every day, I look at them and I get discouraged. I'm thinking, I don't see my name anywhere. You know, I get kind of discouraged, but it doesn't matter. It helps me know the market, really know the market. And it's actually kind of fun. But just knowing the market will give you so much confidence in this business. Number 11, with every home you show a buyer prospect, do you ask them to buy the home or at least rate the home on a scale of 1 to 5? I sell lots of 3s, I tell my buyers. I make my buyers either, so would you like to put an offer on this? I know you don't like the carpets, but would you like to put an offer on this one? This sounds like, kind of looks like what you've been looking for, don't you think? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Or say, and I've got buyer clients trained where, Kathy, we can't leave the house yet. You didn't ask us how to rate it.
No.
Oh, that's right. How do you rate this house? You know, I make them rate them scale. And my spiel is, and I tell them before we go out, I'm going to ask you to rate. I may ask you to buy every house just so I know how you feel about these houses. So know that. Secondly, I will likely ask you to rate every house on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 is that you mean, 5 is you're telling me you want to buy it today. So when I meet with you today, I want you to bring your checkbook. Now, is that not a nice close? Doesn't that mean business? Is there anything wrong with that? No. So I want you to bring a checkbook. So I want you to rate these houses on a scale of 5 means you'll buy it today. 1 means you can't give me this dog. They laugh, they like it, but they like the game of rating it. They like that game. And it forces them to make it not a tour of houses and a waste of your gasoline. It forces them to think like buyers. Okay, cool.
One thing I hear from realtors, and a lot of it is the newer realtors, they're showing sometimes 50 houses to an individual. And I think that's where the listening skills come in, because a lot of the customers will go, my realtor's just not listening to me. She's not understanding my needs. And I think that's a big part. So having them rate it, you can go back and see where they've rated the highest ones.
And the other thing that's very helpful, especially especially with the first few times you work with a buyer, at the end of the tour, tell them at the end of the tour, I want us to regroup in our atrium, and we're going to go back over the homes that we showed you today, and we're going to put them in rating order. So we'll know your top 2 listings, the 2 that you like the best, or the 3 that you like the best. When you can have that exit interview, you are still cementing them to you as their realtor. So don't overlook the importance of an exit interview. First of all, you're going to wear these people out. You want to wear them out. You want to have the energy to wear them out. They're going to get tired of looking and rating and kicking bricks. They're going to get tired of that. That exit interview will help you get closer to writing an offer than anything else.
And can I add something?
Please.
And it helps you to be proactive too. We have a current buyer who's a VA buyer and can't buy a fixer-upper HUD home, and will send me these, I want to see this one. I said, well, that's a rehab, and it's not that you can't buy it, but you can't buy it with VA. So,
yeah.
And, to educate them, and, that some buyers we educate
Over and over and over and over.
But then it gets to the point where, you say, well, that's okay. That's bordering Lake Otis. Do you want to be on the corner of Lake Otis and 68th? Is that going to bother you? And no, forget it. It saves you time, and it shows that you have some knowledge of what
And that you
doing.
care. You care about where you're going to place them. Number 12, with every person who comes to your open house, do you ask them every single time to buy the home? Have you all done any open houses yet?
Done one with Melanie.
With Melanie, okay. Do you ask them every single time to buy the home, even if they don't like the home? This is the most fun thing ever to do in this business. It's more fun than anything in life I can think of, to ask people to buy the home, even if they don't like it. So when you do this, what is the most likely thing to happen next?
They laugh.
they laugh. And they like you because you made them laugh and you had the nerve to ask them to buy. So we wouldn't consider buying this home. Please tell me what you are looking for. I'm going to take notes because it'll be important to you, I know. Start taking notes. You're at the open house. If you can engage them and you can write down what they say they want, you are starting to position yourself so that you're their realtor. But if you just let them come and go and without any kind of request to buy, you will
And I
have
have to
lost them.
tell you, that's more the norm. I have been, my husband and I decided one weekend we were just going to go do open houses. We're not house shunning, but I just was interested in how the realtors would respond. And they don't, a lot of them don't say anything. You walk
They don't even
in,
get off their phone.
they don't even, yeah, many of them are on their phone. They're standing out, looking out of the window, and you're walking all over. They never say hello, goodbye, or anything. And when you walk out, you go, thank you, and they never say a word. And I'm like, well, that's why they're not picking up buyers.
That's why the houses
They're
aren't
not
selling.
saying anything.
Yeah. So engage.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13. When you walk through your neighborhood with or without your dog, do you take the time to say hello to your neighbors? Sooner or later, they will know what you do for a living and will appreciate current market information. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thanks for helping us. So if you do walk through your neighborhood, be friendly. Be friendly. Number 14, do you attend your children's school and other related meetings with business cards and name tag on board? Don't miss those opportunities. Number 15, do you follow up immediately on all eTeam, Zillow, Trulia, and other leads with a telephone call, text, and or email? All three works best. All three works best. You can't overdo that. Number 16, when you initially followed up on number 15, do you continue to follow up with those people with whom you were unable to connect the first 3 times? Just because you didn't get them the first 1, 2, 3 times, keep trying. Number 17, if unable to connect the first 3 times, do you have a system for continued, if less frequent attempts to contact these leads? Put them in a tickler file so that if you can't get them the first 3 times, maybe every 4 days you follow up, every 5 days you follow up. Just don't lose those people. Those are buyers and sellers. 18, do you consistently post all leads to a contact management program such that these prospects will at least receive some form of email communication from you weekly? Are you doing that yet, Willie?
No. I need to.
You do need to. You know so many people. You should have a program like that. 19, do you have a contact management program in place so that you're calling at least 5 warm prospects every single day? Right. So all of you with Facebook and social media friends, blah, 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 this is good stuff. Call them. Just call them. Hi. Noticed on Facebook such and such and so. Just wanted to check in. I know that you bought your home a long time ago. You know the interest rates. If your interest rate's not down to around 4%, maybe it's a good time to refinance. Be helpful to people. Tell them things they may not know. Number 20, do you volunteer when given the opportunity at school, church, and neighborhood functions with business cards and name tag on board? I have been on the Anchorage Community Theater Board for 20 years. I get nice business from those people. And what's beautiful, what's cool, is my children have always been involved in theater. Now, that means that since they were 12, and 12-year-olds don't buy houses. My 30-year-old children now, and furthermore, theater junkies don't usually have jobs either. They don't have any money. But now these people are 30, 35. They have careers now, some with GCI, and all of them are buying and selling houses. And many of them call me, and it's exciting. So suddenly my involvement in theater has turned into a prospecting thing.
And I think I like that volunteering, because I work in an elementary school. It's not appropriate for me to go around and tell people I'm a realtor because I'm a public employee. And so through volunteering, and I volunteer for Alaskan Animal Rescue Friends, so I foster puppies but getting to know people through them, and they always come to me with questions or, oh, I think so-and-so might be, they do ask me for my cards. And so it's good to get out and volunteer. It's something that's really important to you, that you're gonna have the energy for. It's fun to go work with the animals and people working with the animals and all of that. And it does help.
Like Willie races funny cars, right?
Dragster.
Dragsters. So you've got an entire sphere of influence with those folks that you've gotten a fair amount of business from.
I have, and it's been, I won't say off the chain, but I went with one guy and was just talking. We were in the shop, and I told him, we were talking about, real estate that day and stuff. And he said, hey, I might be willing to sell my house, ready to sell my house. Long story short, we put his house on the market, and it was a trifecta kind of deal. It took 7 months to get this done because he wasn't ready to sell exactly right then, but the person that was buying his had to sell theirs, and the person that was buying theirs had to sell their home and stuff and whatnot. So it was.
Did you get all the listings?
It was able to all get together. No, I just had the one listing and whatnot. However, from that came, he bought 2 more fourplexes from me out there, and then sent me his brother, and I sold his brother a condo out there, and now I'm listing his father-in-law's house.
Oh my gosh.
And
From the sphere of influence.
Yeah,
sphere of influence.
and it's been great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are your hobbies?
I'm a cheerleader for UAA.
You're a cheerleader where?
For UAA.
Oh,
For UAA.
So,
So you're probably then interfacing with people, adults, people who have homes to sell. Do they know you're a realtor?
I'm going to make it more,
Yes.
yeah, more noticeable.
Well, do you ever do any coaching?
I don't know.
Because that's people, I do know a cheerleading coach who interacts a lot with, she's not a realtor,
Mhm.
but who interacts a lot with.
Wow.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing that next year because this is going to be my last year. So I was
Mhm.
thinking about doing like popcorn and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
you're,
What
you're,
school
a
were
lot
you
of people
with?
see you.
Well, I was at Tudor Elementary. I'll be at Susitna this year. I transferred to
Used to
Susitna.
work at Susitna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, for sure. Every day, small world.
Oh, wow. How about that?
So what are your hobbies?
I like to read and pretty much anything outdoors. So machining, four-wheeling, hiking.
So you're interfacing with other people in that respect. So are you going to be talking to those people about the fact that you're in the business? Perfect. Okay. All righty. Number 21. On all Facebook and other social media venues, do you make it clear and are therefore constantly reminding other people that you are a realtor? In social media circles, it's best to talk first about their and your other interests, but with something that reminds them that you are a realtor, like Robin uses a picture of her Jack White business card on her social media posts. She's not doing that in the social media world, and Robin reminded me of this. They don't want a copy of your new listing every day. It's more of a social situation, so you're going to talk about what the social part of it is, but there's nothing wrong with that subliminal message that says, and by the way, I'm a realtor.
Mhm.
Number 22, when texting professionally or personally, do you make it clear that you are a realtor? Robin can post her business card on her text if she so chooses. And I've had my texting program so that with every text I send, I have the ability to send what we call a signature. So it's, how many texts do you get? You don't know who the heck it is. Just crazy stuff. So I always had my name's there, my phone number, my email addresses, and all my texts. You can program your phone to do that. I don't know how to do it, but somebody smarter than me can do it. But you
I
should
need
do
to
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, if you get a text from me, you always know it's me because I hit one more button and it's a signature line that goes. Okay, on that 23, do you promptly respond to all telephone calls, texts, and emails so that you don't miss a potential sales opportunity? I try super hard. These new iPhones, what's that, sweetie? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. These new iPhones, I'm finding it a little harder to pick up that second call. I'm actually missing a few calls, and that really bothers me.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do? It's an iPhone, so it's smarter than I am. But I do work super hard at promptly responding to telephone calls, texts, and emails so you don't miss a potential sale. Hiding from these potential business sources will negatively impact your sales potential. How many realtors do you know that you can never get on the phone? You're trying to make an appointment to show their house, their listing. You can never get them on the phone. They're hiding. They don't want to work that day. Well, isn't that just pleasant? But they took a listing and that they have an obligation to that seller. We have an obligation to our sellers and our buyers to try to be available. And I don't mean that people should be bothering you at 11 o'clock at night necessarily. And the truth is, if you are returning your calls or you're available when they call, they're not going to start bothering you late at night. They're not going to be upset when they call you. My motto is call them before they call you. Always call them before they call you. Number 24. Once a sale successfully closes, do you have a system, Willie, in place to continue to stay in contact with these clients? These clients will ultimately be your greatest source of sales as they will become your raving fans. Treat them very well, stay in communication, and let them know in many ways how you appreciate their referrals and confidence in you.
Yes.
What do you do?
I don't have, I'll put it this way. I do things like write them notes as far as just, hey, how you doing? Or I'm going to start doing this. It's been 6 months since you've, since you purchased and, this, that, and the other and stuff. But I have a contact management system that will do all of that. All it does is just take some time to set it up. And then at that point in time, you're pushing buttons and it tells you, after a while, it'll tell you time to call.
Okay.
It won't let you just, hey, just keep doing that. Hey, time to call, and tells you different things to follow up. And then it also just sends them just messages. And one of the good things that it does, it sends every month, it sends a newsletter of not what's going on here in town as far as
More generic.
It's more of a generic deal. Things to do with your home,
That's
things to
awesome.
fix your home, this, that, and the other, and it gives quotes at the end.
So what's the name of that program?
Exact Contact.
Exact Contact.
And for new realtors, it lets them try it for 5 weeks. If they choose to purchase it, let them know that I told you about it, and I'll get a little kickback.
Well, there you go.
However, you get, I think, 6 months free, something like that, 6 months free. It's called Exact Contact. It does everything. It really does.
That's what's good to know, Willie. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Number 25, with every new listing, do you send just listed cars to the neighborhood? With every sale pending or closed sale, do you send a sale pending and or a sold car to the neighborhood? Yeah, that's a great way to market. With every commission check, do you set aside a certain percentage to reinvest in your business in the form of marketing yourself or your listings? Yeah, think ahead like that. Do you enclose your business cards with every bill you pay by mail? Yeah. Throw it in there. Even with a little note, call me on the back of the card. Do you hand your business card to every merchant you meet or wait person who serves you? Do you hand out a personal brochure about yourself and Jack White at every open house you do and at every client meeting you have? If you don't have a personal brochure, develop one. Even a resume that talks about your interests, anything that sets you apart. In fact, that you're a cheerleader, some people would find very interesting, I think. And last but not least, 31, and finally, do you always have a pen handy so you can leave a handwritten note on the back of each business card you hand out that might say, nice to meet you, give me a call, or feel free to call me anytime, or thanks for serving me, or have a great day, call anytime. That's what I was saying, Willie. Rather than just hand a business card, take a minute to give them a little note, and they will not throw it away then.
And to piggyback on that, that's fine, but the deal is maybe they will or won't throw it away. But if you have something like you say, you're always taking notes and have something to where, let me get your contact information because,
thanks, Willie.
You'll miss it. If they don't contact you, you can't contact
just
them.
because you said to somebody, call me back,
Right.
they may not call you back.
That.
So you need their name and phone number. Willie's right. You need their name and number. That extra minute doing something above and beyond will be remembered and put you ahead and shoulders above everyone else. So that's 31 ways to grow your business. Any other thoughts? Have we missed it? I can think of others as I was talking, actually, but it's not. Good to see you, Willie.
Thanks.
I know
Every
you've been
time,
busy.
well, it's just every time the class is, I'm going on an appointment or going on a showing or something.
That's
and
what you're
it's
supposed to
just-
be doing. You don't need to be here if you're doing
Well,
that.
yeah, if that's coming on, it's just, I gotta do what I
You
gotta
gotta
do,
do that.
you know.
I know
so,
you do.
yeah.
Robin, thank you for this. This is, I really like, I'm gonna read this whole thing. This is excellent. And go ahead and send this out when you send the other stuff. out.
Okay.
All right, thank you all. Have a great week and we'll find out how the prospects went. Right? All good here?
No pressure.
Robin,
You'll thank
how
me.
many weeks are we? Because I mean, I can't remember where I thought I was
This is
3
week-
weeks
This is at week, what are we, week, I guess.
because
we
I
are-
haven't turned in.
We're week 3.
Yeah,
We're at week 3 because we didn't have one
yeah.
the week of the fire.
And then we had one before and then didn't have one and then had one after. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we are week 3.
Okay.
I actually have a question.
Oh, yeah.
So you say, Robin, what do you do for the school district? What do you
I'm
do?
a TA in the school-based behavioral support, so I work with bullies.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working as a resource TA as tutor.
Uh-huh.
And I just like, it was time, time to move, transfer, make a change, so, and behavior is like my specialty. So
Oh, is that
I went
right?
over to, yeah,
Okay.
to the behavioral
Okay.
program. To keep those bullies in line.
Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. I worked for them for 31 years.
Wow,
with-
really?
Yeah.
What did you do for them?
Everything started off custodial, and then I went into worked at the bus garage for like a year, and then went from there 12 years in grounds maintenance, and that's where I
wow.
retired from grounds maintenance and stuff like
Wow.
that. So I was all over at the school. I mean,
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
schools and yeah, all the schools. Knew somebody over there. And stuff and whatnot, so I'll be dang. And how
Yeah.
long you been? How long have you been working?
Let's see, since 2007, I guess.
Okay, because I was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
With
still there.
ASD, but
Yeah.
and then since 2009, working in special ed.
Uh huh.
But yeah, and I really, as much as I enjoy this, I enjoy that.
Sure.
It's like, I feel really torn. I think I enjoy this a little more now that I have a chance to really be in the office and work with people.
Uh
But,
Right.
and the money's better here.
huh.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my health insurance is really
Oh, well,
good.
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
really cheap.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, I can't. I've got no complaints. I mean, it was 2010. It's been 5 years now. So
Mhm.
I retired 2010 and stuff. But the coverages and the healthcare is just off the chain. Tier 1 is just
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's good, definitely. Right on. Okay.
And if you need any help with the listing, we can help you with it. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. But we'll help you with it if you need some help.
Okay, thank you.
But while you were talking, I thought of
I
maybe a
didn't know you
topic
had,
for next week.
I didn't know you had a real estate license too.
Yeah.
I know you were up there and stuff
Yeah.
with them, but I didn't know you had a real
Yeah, I
estate
was
license.
Cold calling
interning with
is
her and I
fun.
had to get my
Or something
license
like that.
intern with
Oh,
her.
okay.
Yeah,
But now
Just
I'm no
things
longer
about,
interning with sales.
Oh, you're no
How
longer,
to
are you
get-
still working
how to
with
get
her?
through
Or
it,
no,
how
oh,
to
you're
do
not.
how to be
Okay,
by
where's your
myself
office?
about it.
In the bullpen
Yeah.
across from Teresa.
Also
Teresa,
about being
to
on
second
the
floor.
Second floor,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
In the bullpen
Right
there.
on, okay,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Really
I used to be
well.
upstairs and, well, it's not there anymore, because the bullpen that we had upstairs was
Didn't
where,
understand
you know where
her.
Barb,
She was
Huntley-
talking in a baby
you know where
voice.
Barb Huntley,
Yeah.
like if there's right on the bathrooms, right on the bathrooms, it's a little hall that goes
Yeah.
straight through in there and stuff going on, and John Lindsay and all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the right, as soon as you went into that hallway, to the right, there was a bullpen there.
I was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it used to be a bullpen. That was where I
That was
started.
amazing.
That was my place. Yep, sure enough.
Calling and,
Yep.
You know,
I'll be dang.
yeah.
Well, if you need any, I've got all kinds of scripts and stuff and
Oh, do
whatnot,
you?
you know, yeah,
I
so
need scripts.
if you want to, I've got a book and it's the book of scripts
Mhm.
and stuff went on, and so you're welcome to copy it anytime. I'm, because I'm right there, you know where I'm at, Right.
You're third floor,
Third floor, and
Right.
I'm right next to Angela.
her new place.
Yeah, not the new big one, but the new
The old-
small one, the little
Oh,
small one.
okay.
Yeah, the little small one right there. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, so anytime,
Okay,
for
for
sure.
sure. I need some scripts
Mhm.
because I'm like
Yeah,
really bad
it
at that.
it helps you, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, but here's the deal about scripts. I won't say here's the deal about scripts, but the deal is just being yourself and and then the questions like forward when people start talking to you. Oh, great. How's your family?
Right.
What organizations?
Yeah.
For O, what's the O thing? The R is what do you do for recreation? What do you do and stuff going on?
Mhm.
And as far as the other one is dreams, so FORD dreams.
Yeah.
But what's on your bucket list maybe
Yeah.
is not is
Make it more.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
what's your dream? Well, wait,
Uh,
where? Yeah,
Where's
I'm
this
telling you
going?
my dreams. I just met you.
Right.
You know. But anyway, if you need anything, just give me a
Yeah,
word.
for sure.
For
I'll
sure.
come visit.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, and you get at least a cubicle. You know, and like I said, you get at least a cubicle. Yeah, because you can't, it's hard to, especially if you look in, or ask for people in there when you're trying to.
Okay.